Welcome back to another video of the same chapter, Uncle Pojo Leaves for Work. Till now we have read how Uncle Pojo gets late for the train because of the last moment he loses something and instead of blaming himself, he blames others. In the previous paragraph, we have read that he has lost his newspaper. After that, what are the argument starts? We will read now. Look at the page number 59. I had it in my hand here not a minute ago, he would exclaim. From his tone, you would have thought he was living surrounded by conjurers who spirited away things from him merely to irritate him. Could you have left it in the garden? My aunt would suggest. What should I want to leave it in the garden for? I don't want a paper in the garden. I want the paper in the train with me. Here he would confidently say that he had the newspaper in his hand just now. From his tone, anybody would think that he thinks the family members are magicians and they were intentionally hiding his things or misplacing his things. He thinks they were making his things disappear to irritate him or to make him angry. In answer to his exclamation, he said that he had the newspaper just now in his hand. Then aunt would suggest that he might have left the newspaper in the garden. After listening this, he became angry. He said that he wanted the newspaper in the train and did not want the newspaper in the garden. Look at the next paragraph. Here somebody would explain what is this and hand him a paper from somewhere neatly folded. I do wish people would leave my things alone, he would growl, snatching at it savagely. He would open his bag to put it in and then glancing at it, he would pause, speechless, with a sense of injury. What's the matter? My aunt would ask. At that time, not his family member, somebody out of his family would come and hand over the newspaper. Instead of thanking to that person, he would angrily tell the people to leave his things alone. He would take the newspaper violently from that person's hand and started continuously looking at that. Suddenly, he would become white and speechless. After seeing him speechless and quiet, aunt asked him, what is the matter? What is the reason behind being speechless? We, the day before yesterday's, he would answer, too hurt even to shout, throwing the paper down upon the table. If only sometimes it had been yesterday's, it would have been a change, but it was always the day before yesterday's. We would find it for him eventually, as soon as not, he was sitting on it, and then he would smile, not genially, but with the weariness that comes to a man who feels that fate has cast his lot among a band of hopeless fools, all the time right in front of you, your noses. He would not finish the sentence. He prided himself on his self-control. In answer to aunt's question, he would say, it always happens to him. While saying this, he would throw the newspaper upon the table angrily. Eventually, the family members would find it for him. They would help him to get the lost things. But he dramatizing each and everything. When dramatizing in between, he would pretend to smile also. He would also take pride on his self-control. Look at the last paragraph. This settled, he would start for the hall where it was the custom of my Aunt Maria to have the children gathered ready to say goodbye to him. One of them, of course, was sure to be missing. The moment this was noticed, all the other six, without an instant's hesitation, would scatter with a whoop to find it. After settling this matter, when he would start for the hall, Aunt Maria called all the children to the hall. It was the custom of Aunt Maria that all the children would gather in the hall and ready to say goodbye to Uncle Pojo, who was leaving for work. But suddenly, at the last moment, they discovered that one of the children was missing. The moment when this was noticed, all the children who were present there would scatter here and there. They ran here and there with a loud cry of joy and excitement, without any hesitation, to find the missing child.